Hey everyone, welcome to the Laser Channel where we learn, create, and share. My name is Greg, and once again, I have the B1 laser machine by Longer. In this video, I'm going to be extending the work area of the machine by installing the extension kit. It looks something like that, and it's contained in this great big huge box. Before we start though, I've got a quick joke for you. Where do you take somebody that's been in a peekaboo accident? Don't know? You take them to the ICU. All right, I promise that is the last joke like that in this video. Normally I like surprises and I like to unveil what's going on as we dive into the machine on what's going to get changed out and then taking a look at the kit with everything that's included. But I actually want to skip ahead a little bit and do a quick comparison of the work area of the stock machine versus what the extension kit is going to give us. So for that, I cut out a couple of pieces that represent the work area of the stock machine, coming in at 17.7 inches by 17.3. For those of you in metric land, that's going to be 450 by 440 millimeters. Still a pretty nice work area size, coming in larger than the standard 400 by 400 found on many of the common machines on today's market. When I switch over to the size that the extension kit is going to give us, it's going to make it this big, nearly twice as large, coming in at that same 17.7 inches, but now it's going to be 33.4 inches wide, metric 450 by 850 millimeters long, making it twice or nearly twice the work area of the standard machine. Side by side, this is the size comparison. Pretty big improvement over the stock work area. Next up, we're going to take a look at the B1 machine in its stock form and see what it's going to take to get the kit installed on the machine. The extension kit is going to be replacing this rail and this rail on the machine. To get those rails removed, we'll be removing the belts underneath these rails. And if you recall, when you put yours together, there's a belt tensioner underneath here and over here in the front, and then the rails are ready to come off. They're held in place with 2 bolts in each of the 4 corners for a total of 8 bolts, and that takes care of the mechanical side of the installation kit. Electrically, there's even less things that we need to do. There's a cable cluster down here behind the main control box. We'll be extending that out. The limit switch for the homing of the machine is going to be transferred over to the new rail. And then the last thing is going to be the Y-axis cable located back in this corner. Now let's check out the components of the kit, starting out with these rails. These things are just as beefy as the stock machine. In fact, we'll see if we can't get an end view here. Check that out. That thing is just massive, and these things are nearly 3 feet long. We're going to see that this one does have the cutout in it to match the one on the stock machine. Now the other parts are going to include basically everything I talked about in the previous scene on what we're going to be doing to the stock machine. We are going to have the wiring harness. We're going to have a set of belts for both the left and the right hand side. One thing I didn't mention is we are going to have a super long air hose for the air assist pump, so that can traverse the long area that these rails are going to provide for us. We're also going to have a handful of screws, which I don't think we're going to need. I think we're going to be able to reuse the ones from the stock machine, but it's always nice to know that we've got an extra set of those, along with another set of tools for those fasteners and a wrench for basic maintenance of the machine itself. On the stock machine, there's a little controller board that all the connectors go through before going inside, and the installation kit includes a new one of those. So I think we'll be following the instructions and installing this as well. To keep everything from looking like a sloppy mess, Longer also includes a handful of zip ties to keep everything nice and tidy and clean. The excitement continues with this, the installation manual. I'll fold this open and we'll take a quick peek at everything. It goes through step by step on the mechanical installation of all the pieces and parts and anything that we transfer from the stock machine over to the new kit. It continues on to the second page. Nice detailed views of everything that we need to watch out for and setup areas. And then lastly, in this bottom corner for step number 8 is going to be the software update that we need to apply to Lightburn or laser gerbil to reflect this new larger work area. Next up is the fun part of installing the extension kit on the B1 laser machine. I'm going to be turning the camera off for this so I can focus on the instructions off camera. I did go back through the instructions in great detail. I read the front page and the back page, and everything is straightforward and it really makes sense to me. The other reason why I'm turning the camera off is because I really do want to just concentrate and enjoy installing the kit. I'm going to be recording how long it takes on my cell phone so I can let you know how long you can expect the kit to take to install on the machine. And I guess with that, I'll be back in just a second with the B1 laser machine with nearly twice the work area. So how long did the kit installation take? I would like to say that it took me 43 minutes to do it, taking my time. I'm going to put an asterisk next to that because it actually took an additional half hour. And that's because at 43 minutes, I felt like that would have been an appropriate time to put the kit together. I got stumped up in this corner where the main wiring harness exits the side rail. It has to clear a belt tensioner and the belt, and this rail is cut slightly different than the stock one, making it actually a lot more difficult to get that wire to clear that belt. I'm going to flip this over and we'll take a close-up of what I'm talking about. Let's see what this cable looks like that we're trying to get out of this rail extension here. We can see that it's basically tight up against the tensioner. I can still work the tensioner, just that it's in there pretty tight. And trust me, it is clearing the belt just by a little bit. When I take a look at the stock railing here, we're going to see that there's an extra cutout right here and right here, allowing the cable to easily get out of that area. On the extension rail, those cuts aren't in there. I'm not really sure why Longer decided to not put those cuts in there, but this took me quite a while to get that cable out without interfering with anything. Well, the extra time I had to spend on getting the cable to exit this rail area was actually pretty disappointing. The rest of the kit went together very well and it all made sense. Another tip that I have for you is when removing the stock side rail, especially the one that has the wiring harness in it, leave the wiring harness in it. It's going to make a great reference for putting the harness in the new side rail. Now that the kit's all installed, it's now time to connect Lightburn up to the machine. There is 2 areas where I need to do some updates to reflect this new larger work area. I'm also going to be doing a test frame just to make sure that the computer does in fact recognize the new work area on this B1 laser machine. Inside Lightburn software, I'm connected up to the B1 laser machine, and we can see we've got the stock work area of 17.7 by 17.3 inches. Following the instructions with the kit, we're going to go over to Edit and Machine Settings and double click Output Setups, and we'll click Yes, we'll continue. We're going to go down until we see parameter $131, which is right here. Max travel 440 millimeters. We're going to change that to 850 millimeters. I'll click OK. It'll ask me if I want to save it, and yes, I do. That first step changed the area that the machine can actually travel. Next, we have to change what shows up on the desktop within Lightburn software itself. For that, I'll go back to Edit and Device Settings, and we're going to change that height from, as you guessed it, from 440 to 850 millimeters. The rest of this all remains the same, and I can click OK. And just like that, here is the new work area of the machine with the kit fully installed. I'm going to test out this new work area by just simply drawing out a huge box and hitting the frame and making sure that the machine can now travel in its new work area. Look at that, everything is looking good. It has so much more room to play and create projects. Framing this huge box out is another opportunity to check to make sure that none of the cables are getting tangled up or hung up in this new configuration. Usually at this part of the video is when I would run a sample project and we can check out the machine in action, but I think we get the general idea. We've nearly doubled the work area of the B1 machine, opening up opportunities for much larger projects. Some of the other things that we can do with this new work area is we can batch much larger quantities. This is especially important if you're running a home business or something out of your garage. You can get a lot more throughput out of the same machine with this much larger work area. The extension kit is solidly built and it's going to open up a lot more project options. Overall, I'm happy with the kit installation, even though the cable routing took me much longer and it was a little bit frustrating at times. Once I got past that, everything was smooth sailing. One of the other things I'm keeping an eye on from longer is their new ePrint UV printer. This thing looks pretty neat and it's got a lot of promising features. It has a couple of unique features that other UV printers don't have, like extra ink bays for custom inks. It's truly 3D printing up to 60 millimeters thick. I'm sure that uses a ton of ink, but really nice to know that that feature is available, and best of all, third-party inks can be used, something I don't see very much on UV printers. Fingers crossed if I can get my hands on one of those new ePrint machines. Currently, I order out all of my UV printed graphics, and that would be something I'd really like to bring in-house. What I'd like to know is, what do you think about this extension kit and the longer ePrint UV printing machine? Let me know down below by leaving a comment. Thanks for joining me in this video. I had a lot of fun. If you enjoyed this video, show it some love by giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. Not only is it a great way to help this channel grow, it's an awesome way to connect video content like this with other great viewers just like you. And until I see you again in the next video, I'm Greg from the Laser Channel, where we learn, create, and share.